Hi, my name is Empty Pocket and welcome back to Pocket's World. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to build my automatic cooked chicken farm. Sit back and enjoy. The first thing to note, of course, is what materials we're going to need. We're going to need 4 barrels, 3 hoppers, 1 stone step or a non-flammable step of your choice, 2 dispensers, 1 lava bucket, 4 slabs that are non-flammable, usually stone, of your choice, 1 comparator, 1 observer, 1 piece of rail and 1 hopper minecart. Also you need whatever materials you want to put around this thing as aesthetic. It's purely for aesthetic build. I usually go for 4 cobblestone, some walls, some grass, some stone bricks. The 2 lights are optional, you don't actually need them, but I usually put them in. You also need 2 pieces of redstone and something to build the roof with, and some temporary blocks. A bunch of eggs so you can break them into the compartment the chickens live in, but for my purpose I will be using a spawn egg. So let's get started. Now you may wonder why I have a fence around me. That is because I tried to build this yesterday and got inundated by villagers. So I thought to keep them out I'll put a fence around me. Also, spawn was over there. I saw the tip of the village and I thought to myself, what better place to put a chicken farm than in a village. So hence the location. The first thing we're going to need to do is dig a 1x2 hole, 1 deep. We want to come to the opposite side of that hole and place a barrel. To the side of that, place a further 2 barrels and 1 behind this barrel. This is the front of the farm. The next thing we need to do is place a hopper into the back of that barrel, so its nibs pointing into that, and the same with this barrel. This barrel is to collect the eggs, this barrel is to collect the cooked chicken. You'll also collect feathers in here, so I usually take the feathers out and put into this one. Any overflow I put into this. The next thing you need to do is place a upside down step on the side of this barrel so that you can have access to this lower barrel here. You want to then place 2 dispensers here. The top one having the lava bucket in. You then want a bottom slab here and a top slab here on the lower dispenser. This gives you access to the lower dispenser if you need it. It's unlikely, but it's easier to get to than trying to fiddle around the back. The last hopper goes into this lower dispenser. You need then to get on top of the top dispenser, look down at this front barrel here, shift and place your comparator. On top of the comparator, you want to place your observer. You can now place the rest of your stone slabs or block of your choice here. Now what happens is, when chickens lay eggs, they go into here. The comparator reads that something's going through here. The observer picks it up, and there is a redstone line here with a solid block here, and it will send a signal through the block into the redstone, which fires both these dispensers. If there is room in this barrel or this back hopper here in the middle, it will collect the eggs that come through. If this is full, it will fire the eggs into this compartment here. The rest is a static build, apart from these two pieces of redstone. Oh, and the rail and hopper minecart. Still got to place them. Place the rail on top of this lowest hopper here that goes into this barrel, and place the minecart on top of it. You do not need to remove that rail. Right, let's build the aesthetic part then. Stone block there, stone block there, block there, and block here. On top of this, want 2 stone walls on each corner. I can then fill in the sides. We want 4 high on the sides. I'll show you why in a minute. And 3 high at the back. In the front, I want 2 pieces of glass here, and I usually put a piece of glass here and a piece of glass here. That's optional, you can keep it a solid wall if you wish. This creates the 2 chambers. This one's for the chickens that lay the eggs, and this is to the collection chamber. On top of this, here, along this middle piece, I need my 2 redstone. Along here, I then place my more stone brick here, stone brick here. And a decorative block of your choice here. Now we need to get the chickens in. To temporarily remove that piece of redstone, put another block on top of this glass, and that will give you a hole here. What we now need to do is put the chickens in. In the Java edition, I generally just put the 24 chickens in there and let it be. In the Bedrock one, I'll explain what I do there. Right, once your chickens are in the holding cell, place a light block on top of it. And you can take this one away and this one away and replace this redstone. And you want a light or solid block there that closes that cell off. The rest again is a static build. And that's how I build my cooked chicken farm. That is it complete. There is an option if you want your chicks that hatch in this chamber to grow up faster, to put a trapdoor on the lower part of this glass here. That way you have room to feed them seed. They will grow faster. And that keeps this open as well. Again, that works on both versions. While we're waiting for that, we'll take this down. I'm going to wait for the first egg to get laid here. The rates of the Java farm are good enough to feed 4 players on the server consistently once it gets going. Maybe up to 6 depending on your food use. So if you have a big server, you're gonna need multiple units of this setup. Here we go. You saw that flash then. That's the larva coming out of the top one. We have 2 eggs. Now this barrel is full and the back hopper with eggs. We're firing eggs into this chamber here. You just saw one there and another one, and we're now getting chicks. However, while keeping an eye on it, I noticed I wasn't getting any eggs coming through. They were getting stuck in here. The fix for that is to take the solid block off of this observer and put a piece of redstone there. So that's 3 pieces of redstone you'll need, not 2. That fixed the problem. And now it all is working fine. Now it's working properly, we've just got to wait for them to grow up. And then we can see how this farm works. Well, I've got a couple grown up in there now. So all we've got to do is wait. The success rate on chicken here is around 90%. You won't get all of them. Sometimes they just do burn up, but it's a lot rarer than it used to be. It used to be all of them. We should have 3 cooked chicken and some feathers in the barrel now. There we go. Working fine. Over to the Bedrock version. Hi and welcome back to the Bedrock side. I spawned in the same place obviously, because same these days in Java and Bedrock, but unusually I found the village in roughly the same spot as I did on Java. That is very unusual. They're usually very different. Anyway, back to building the chicken farm. It's the same process, but the first barrel you put down is on the ground rather than dug into it. And you do an L shape like this. Other than that, the build for the hoppers and stuff is pretty much identical. So you put the barrels in an L shape like that. This is the front of the farm. On the back here, you want to place 2 hoppers. On this middle hopper, you want to place two dispensers. On this barrel here, you want the comparator with the observer pointing down into it, so the red dots on top. You then want the half slab on the front side, on the top of the first dispenser, the lower one, and the lower side where the hopper is. So you should have something like that. You then put the last hopper into the lower dispenser. And that's the mechanical part done. Now it's just the aesthetics. Same as before. Chicken's legs, they go into this hopper, into this dispenser, and if this hopper below it is not full, then it will either hold the eggs or put them in this barrel. Once this barrel and this hopper are full with eggs, it will fire automatically into the chamber that is going to be here, which should give you chicks. So let's build the aesthetic part of this build. Get rid of these fences. I'm not taking the risk and having villagers interrupt me. So one there, one there, oh, two there. As I said, the aesthetics can be what you want, really. And you can build your chicken farm aesthetics as you please. I've had this in a cave situation before, and the only thing I needed to dig out was this 2x3. So yes, the footprint of the actual farm itself is very small. It's just the build around it that gets slightly bigger. 2, 3, 4. You want to go up 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same reason as last time. You can put a roof on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And light it up, of course. This is the cell that holds the chickens. Again, you can put glass in here like so. But for this one, I'm just going to leave it with the stone block. And we want glass here. How there? Oh, we got in how there. Okay. Now we can't get back out. Oh yes, you can. And we'll go there. Right, okay. Stop me getting in now. I can put a wall up. Again, only need 2 here. How you build the aesthetics for your farm is up to you, but this is just an example I usually use. That's alright, that can be opened up. Now I just need to place a temporary block in there and place what can I place there? A step? Yeah. We'll place a step on top. upside down there. And one there. We'll take this out. We'll place a temporary block there, and a temporary block there, and we'll put the chickens in. Now, for the Bedrock version, you can put as many chickens in here as you like. I was on a server once, and the only chicken farm or cooked chicken farm we had was this one I built. It served the whole server because there is no limit to the number of chickens you can put in here. So it kicks a lot of cooked chicken out. I find for single player, 6 to 10 chickens is more than enough. I usually go to the lower end, say middle of the and put 8 in here. Once it starts producing, it really does kick in, and it will give you enough chicken to survive the whole world. Now we'll put 8 in here. For a single player world, that is more than enough. But as I said, on a server, you can fill it up as much as you like. I wouldn't go above 100 because of the lag. So we want a light in there. We want a light there. Oh, 1 minute. I need to put the lava. Did I get the lava bucket out? No, I didn't. The lava bucket goes in this top one. That comes out there. And we put a light in here. We can now put the redstone in. And again, it goes from there, and it goes down here and up onto the top of this. That way it fires that bottom one and this one at the same time. This is optional, but you can also put a slab, not a solid block, a slab. On top of here. Like so. That will still connect the redstone. As you can see through there, it's still connected. If you put a solid block there, it will cut it off, making the farm useless. Now I just need to put the roof on, or a nice block to put in there. Oh, we'll put a lodestone there. Right, now let's build this roof. That'll come out of there. Do the same sort of roof as last time. Goes across the top there. Don't need anything on the sides. It looks a bit strange otherwise. This can come out here. Go there. Go there. That can go there. Again, this can be covered up, it doesn't matter. That's it. All done. It can be taken down. That's the farm up and running. It should work. I'm just waiting for an egg to be laid. Yes? Can I help you? That's the first egg. Obviously won't fire as many eggs as 24 chickens, but it's the number of chickens you put in there is totally your choice. Play the game fast, put more chickens in. If you play the game nice and slow, then put less. And you still have access to that middle chest where the eggs go here. You can separate any feathers into here by manually doing it, or into the back chest there, which you can just open up like so. Yes, can I help you? Now again, you can replace that and feed chicks. Seed, if you so wish, by putting a trapdoor there. Sorry about the intrusion, but that's it. That's the farm up and running. There's our first egg that's come through the dispenser and broken on the wall. Pity there's not a chick, but now that's what we've got to wait for. And there's our first chick. Now we just got to wait for him to grow up. And this is where this comes in handy, because I can get a bunch of seed and I can feed him until they grow up. They take a lot less seed than on Java. Oh, quite a few there. Oh, I see what's happening. Yeah, that was silly. Anyway. Rid of that. This is in creative. I forgot that I'll just double up. But you see the concept. You can feed the chicks, and as you can see, they just cook. There we go. 3 chickens, 3 feathers. And that is the chicken farm for Bedrock. This one, success rate for cooking the chicken is 100%, or as close to. I've not lost more than 3 chickens ever since I designed this, and that was back in 1.16, so it's negligible loss. And welcome back to the Java side, where we continue to cook chicken. Now, if you want cooked chicken before you actually collect any more eggs in here, there is a way of doing that. What you need to do is you need to shift click and place a switch. This works on both Java and Bedrock. So, and you switch that down and it will lock the hopper behind this barrel, which means all eggs get fired here. You can then lift it up or turn it off and the eggs drop straight down in here. That's another optional extra I used to use sometimes. But there you go, that is the farm up and running. For the best results out of this farm, it's better to build it in spawn chunks or within a chunk loader or the equivalent on Bedrock. If you have any questions about this farm, please leave them in the comments below and I will answer them as soon as possible. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, a comment and subscribing. I will leave a link to my previous videos in the little side cards up on screen. Thank you for watching and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.